What is up, guys, and welcome to episode 2 of my stream. This is the first installment of Let's Talk Metal, and Let's Talk Metal is basically a show where I'm going to talk about everything Bloodshot Dawn related, as well as my other band, and my other band members can talk about their other musical projects on here as well, and hopefully they're going to, come and hang out with me more often. And talking of that, today I have my good buddy and shredder in arms, Morgan, with me. Let me just see if I can find him. There he is. How you doing, Morgan?
Hello. I'm doing great, man. How are you?
I am doing wonderful, thank you. And I am really looking forward to today's show because it's jam-packed. We got loads of stuff coming at you. We got our first installment of Shred Bros Lick of the Week, which Morgan has kindly done for us. Basically, you'll be able to learn some of Morgan's craziest shred licks if you're shred enough.
Up to the task.
Today Morgan will also be playing a song, playing the song that he features in his video. We're also going to do a little review on the 33 pedal and talk about that. We're also going to talk about Morgan's first gigging experience with Bloodshot when he joined 4 or 5 years ago now. So that's going to be interesting. If you guys have got any questions and stuff, fire them at us. Morgan's going to be checking Facebook and stuff like that, and it'll be up on the screen if you come to us on Twitch. Please go on Twitch as well because we're trying to get affiliated. So we need watchers and followers. So more people on Twitch, the better. Go log in and sign up to us. So yeah. So how you doing, Morgan? Anyway, you good?
I am good. I had a long day today, man. I had a lot of contact today. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh God!
Don't tell anyone.
Don't tell anyone.
Like, they're loosening up a bit the whole lockdown right now. I don't know. It seems to be kind of happening here a bit faster than some other places. Like, I know in Canada, obviously, like, stuff is closed until like June, and they've already decided. But
it's probably for the best in some places. I mean, over here they seem to want to tighten up, but no one wants to do it. So it's, I don't know. But it'll be fine. Yeah. I mean, it's going to take time. Who knows what the best way forward is? But I'm pleased that you're allowed to see your loved ones.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. I don't know. I mean, I haven't been hanging out too much, so it was kind of weird that I just had I met like a couple different groups of people. Groups like two people here, one person there. So it's not really like a big deal, but. It was just interesting to have so much social contact, not on live stream, because that's been kind of the deal for the last couple weeks. And,
yeah.
It's been really great though. Like it's super fun to stream and to chat with all you guys out there. So feel free to send us some questions.
Yeah, absolutely. And, get in touch. Give us some comments. I plan to redeem myself this week because I was out of sync when I was playing on Sunday, but I'm going to play a song today and it's all set up and good. We're also going to review another song today. We're going to review a song from the Enigma division, and I'm going to get into that right now. So I'm going to basically watch along and give a bit of commentary here and there, and then afterwards, me and Morgan are going to talk about what we like about it and give it a little score.
You know what? I'll mute myself and I'll watch along on my YouTube.
All right, awesome. Alright, so let's just crack straight on with it. This is the Enigma division. Already sounds nice. Nice visuals. Pretty sure this little video is by Very Metal Arts, Andy, killer guy, very, very talented. I mean, those drums sound awesome already, so it's definitely the more proggy side of metal. Nice big clean vocals. just so you know, they got an album coming out. This is the first release they did. I was very excited about it. So let's get into it. It's already a journey, right? It's like a video game.
I hear sirens call my name in a city of lights.
That drumming is huge.
Life lasts all night. I know we have
The riffage as well underneath. It's like subtle, but it's ridiculous.
from this city of lights. These towers all look the same.
I'm guessing this is the chorus. It sounds really nice.
Listening amongst the rain. The people we pass, the memories that last, will never cross paths with again. And in this journey of life, we all roll the dice, and hope that we will never see the end.
I'm really impressed so far. I mean, the production's great. It's a long song. Just so you guys know, just a strap in.
Dispel the neon mirror.
I mean, this could be the chorus also. This is sick.
Erase the false facade.
Really nice vocals.
There's a void that is all I see. Amongst the skyline of lies. These towers all
there you go.
look the same.
Flying through space right now, man.
When they're glistening
We're on a journey together.
amongst the rain.
Just like in a convertible that actually flies.
And in this journey of life, we all roll the dice, and hope that we will never see the end.
I really want to sing along. I don't want to ruin everyone's experience though. But it's got that vibe. It's got real Scar Symmetry vibes as well in some moments like this. I'm hoping a big solo's coming.
Yeah, it's definitely like a big synthwave thing going on too. It's so awesome.
So I found out about this band through Connor, who was the Xerath guitarist just before they split up. He did Xerath 3. Absolutely incredible player, like mind blowing. Hopefully he'll be going with Shred Bros soon. Get that sorted maybe.
You know it.
It's
It's got Dream Theater vibes as well. Well, this part has like the oh here we go. I'm gonna shut up for the solo. That's some top tier stuff. It's like you have a fretboard that doesn't stop. Thanks, Jason. Appreciate that. I'll try and do it for next time and be a bit clearer. You want to hear the music anyway over me. I'm just talking smack. This breakdown. Oh, that was a nice drop as well. Well, I'm already sold. Mainly metal, Jason. But I listen to anything, honestly.
Right up my alley, man.
Yes, more shreds. Goosebumps. Goosebumps. I mean, this is the complete package for any prog metal fan, really. This is epic. Key change. Oh, he did it. He did it. Oh, back to the chorus. Let's go. Singing it instead of screaming it as well. It's a nice touch. Oh, let's go.
God damn it.
This is the song that just keeps on giving. Oh, don't stop, don't stop, don't stop. Oh, no, no. I'm leaving the spaceship. Well, now.
Goddamn.
Well, now. Enigma Division. I mean, there's so much to talk about with that music. That song. That's the first song they've released as well. 8-minute monster track. I hope everyone enjoyed it. Give me some comments. Give us some comments on Facebook and stuff. Tell us what you think. So yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go straight out there with a 9 out of 10. Really, I mean, like the only criticism I could have is that for a first release, it might be a bit long for some people to digest. But I mean, it depends. If prog metal is your thing, then that's definitely, you know, I think 9 out of 10 is pretty darn good.
I think the
Go on.
I was just gonna say, I mean, you were just gonna mention the members. You know, I think that the members kind of, they all probably have quite some fans already. So I think people probably maybe know a little bit what they're getting into.
Yeah,
at
of
least to have,
course.
like a kind of like fan base at the beginning and stuff like that.
Yeah, of course. I mean, we're trying to show new fans the music, though. You know, people that haven't heard it before. Hopefully, I mean that's the plan. It's probably just Connor watching, going, "Yeah, go guys." No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I mean, it's like
the structure's really cool, man.
Yeah,
It's
the
kinda
structure's
like,
great. Yeah,
Renaissance, you know, like
don't
it
get
just
me
keeps
wrong. It's
going,
not
you know?
8 minutes wasted by any means at all. It's like a great structure. The chorus comes back, I think, 3 times. And then the nice touch with the change on the singing instead of the screaming, and obviously the solos were crazy. I think my favorite part of the song was the outro. Just you know, that gave me real sort of like space vibes, space breakdown. Something that's, you know, right up my street. Being a massive Scar Symmetry fan.
Totally, man. Same. Yeah, I think as soon as I saw Connor like announce the band, I was just like
Yeah,
smash,
me too,
smash,
me
smash.
too. Yeah,
Just like probably first 10 people just like fucking yes.
I probably
I don't know, like for anyone who's been following it, it's been quite a build up. Like
yeah,
I don't
for
know,
sure.
really, obviously,
I
it
swear
paid off.
I've messaged him at least 10 times asking what's going on with it, just because it's so good. If you guys want to check them out, talking of Enigma Division, I can't see anything. What am I? You can check them out on their Facebook page, which is here. And this is their nice artwork and logo. I've got the scoop. They've told me that they've got a single coming out on Friday. So keep your eyes out for that. And from what I'm told, there'll be a little Xerath reunion of sorts. So that's definitely one to look out for. But yeah, great song, guys. Go give them a like and give us some comments. Tell us what you think. Do we have any comments at all on Facebook or anything like that, or YouTube? Or
Seems like someone's asking for taking song suggestions.
absolutely. I mean, if you oh, excuse me, shouldn't be touching my face. If you want to, if you have songs of like, it's mainly underground bands I'm looking for. You know, I'm not looking to promote bands that are obviously on labels and stuff because they don't need the help so much. So if you have any bands that are releasing new material, or if you're in a band and you're releasing something new, feel free to contact me and I'll try and slip it into a show. I'm going to try and do a new band every show, but obviously it's not going to be possible every time. But I do have some bands lined up for the next few shows, but like I was saying, I'm going for 10 weeks on this. So there's going to be a lot of opportunity. So where are we?
Just got a comment from Jason, dude. I gotta give a shout out to Jason. He said, "Hey guys, the song sounded pretty amazing. Thanks for the suggestion. Good to see you both here." And he's just remembering the Bloodshot Flesh God gig, which he caught us at.
Hi, Jason.
He said, "So epic! Can't wait for tomorrow."
Oh,
And that's a little.
there's a
that's little
subscriber.
wink to everybody.
Thank you, Jason,
No.
for subscribing. But yeah, no.
Oh shit, really?
Nice.
Oh.
Yeah, Jason's actually going to be on Shred Bros tomorrow, so.
Yeah,
you guys wanna check that out.
Jason's from the incredible technical death metal band Cyotoxin, if you didn't know. And yeah, he'll be featuring on Morgan Show Shred Bros tomorrow. Right, I think it's time for me to redeem myself.
Let's do it. Go, Josh.
I'm gonna play a song for you guys. After of which we're gonna delve into Morgan's first segment of the Wednesday show. So, all right. This time I'm gonna make sure I move my microphone and do all my things. So wish me luck, guys. And if it's not,
Take your time, dude.
if it's not in sync, just smile and wave. That's probably the best bet. right, guys, that was Black Hole Infinity. We're going to talk more about my tone later. If you like the tone, let me know what you think, and I will be, going into one of the pedals of that. It will be the 33. It looks like everything was in sync. Thank you, Giacomo, for letting me know on the chat.
I was watching it as well. I muted.
Let's go.
Discord
Let's go.
and I watched.
I want to see you. I want to see you when you're talking to me.
Sounded killer, dude.
Thanks, brah. Yeah. So I feel redeemed now because I was like basically I was playing in sync before on my side, but the audio of the music was like 100 milliseconds behind me. So it basically looked like I was almost there. But not quite. How embarrassing. And I played 3 songs. But I mean, if you want to go not watch that, it's on
You can.
the best place to watch repeats of the stream is on YouTube, because unfortunately Facebook doesn't believe that we own our own music. So the videos come out and you can hear me talking and stuff. It just mutes pretty much whenever you're playing Bloodshot songs. So if you want to go check out older episodes, you can. All right, well, there's no time like the present. Let's get into the first episode of Morgan's Shred Bros. Here we go.
What's up,
We
everybody?
definitely have to
It's
talk
Morgan
over
Reed
to
here,
make fun of me. Okay, go.
from Bloodshot Dawn. This is your Shred Bros lick of the week,
Nice.
number 1.
Nice.
So we're going to be having a look every week at a new song off of Reanimation, starting with the first. And that's Seared Earth. So check out this sweet picking intro of Doom. All right, so that's the first lick we're going to be learning. We're going to be doing a little taster for you guys, and if you want to check out the whole lesson, you can head over to our YouTube channel. So here goes nothing. So Shred Bros, here at Shred Bros, we're all about the shred. And we do have a lot of that stuff in Bloodshot, so I figured we'd start off with the craziest thing on the whole album, the beginning. It's a little sweep picking arpeggio lick, so hopefully you guys can get it. Don't fret, don't worry. We'll get through it. Or do fret, because it's guitar. Sorry, enough with the dumb faces. It's a serious guitar time. We're gonna slide into the 12th fret. Slide into the 12th fret on the high E, and we're gonna pull off to the 8th fret. We got to start off with the slide because I love slides. If you don't want to slide and it's too, difficult to remember the position of your hand without sliding, feel free to just start on that 12th fret and pull off to the 8th fret. And this is sweep picking, which is essentially trying to move as long as you can in one direction of picking. So we're going to be picking all upstrokes after that pull off. And that's the 10th fret on the B, 9th fret on the G, 10th fret on the D, and 12th fret on the A, all with upstrokes. Then we're gonna play that 7th fret on the A, and we're gonna hammer onto the 12th fret. Then we're going to go forever in the downwards direction, down the exact same shape, but I'll tell you the notes again in case you're a little, happy. So that's the 10th fret on the D, 9th fret on the G, 10th fret on the B, and finally one more downstroke on that 8th fret. But yeah, that 12th fret is actually a hammer, so you get to skip after you do that. You get to skip that string. You just play the A once, and then you have a little bit of extra time to line up your next downstroke, which is going to be on that D string. Then after all those downstrokes, you're going to do a little upstroke on the 12th fret, and you're going to pull off again to the 8th fret. Then we're going to do another upstroke on the B,
but we're only going to do like a little 3-string arpeggio. This would be. It's called the 3-string arpeggio because you're just going on the 3 strings. So you're doing like a little segment of that longer arpeggio. So after you do that 8th,
You guys are bored of hearing me
10th
talk.
fret
Just tell
on
me
the
and we can
B,
skip
you're
this.
gonna want to do a downstroke on the G. So you actually pick around. If you want to see that with a different camera angle, I can hook you up with that, no problem. We do an upstroke and then a
True story.
downstroke 3 in a row.
Or bassists.
Yeah, so it's like then another upstroke, and this time it's gonna be on the 13th fret. So you're adding a note that isn't in that A minor arpeggio. This is actually a second inversion minor arpeggio, and it's a really good shape to learn. So you should practice it.
Nice.
And then after that 13th fret, we're gonna pull off again, upstroke on the B again, downstroke on the G, downstroke on the B, downstroke on the E. And again, 12th fret.
There will be. We're gonna upload the whole lesson,
Down,
obviously,
down,
on YouTube, so you guys can.
Then we're gonna play the
watch
12th
at
fret.
your
We're gonna
own
slide up to
leisure.
that 17th fret for the third inversion of that arpeggio. So, if you're in the stream, I'm leaving you here. Don't forget to check out the rest of the lesson. There's some useful content. I am a buffoon, but you never know what you can learn. So, come check me out on YouTube.
All right. Thank you very much, Morgan, for that first little lesson. You can go check out the full lesson at youtube.com/BloodshotDawnUK. And yeah, so Morgan's also he's doing guitar lessons. So if that's something of interest to you, if you want to be a shred,
That is
if you
true.
want to learn to shred, he is one of the most talented shredders I know. So I would definitely get lessons if I didn't have such a big ego to think that I didn't need them. No, I'm only kidding.
Dude, I need lessons too, man.
Yeah, I mean, you can
Just not for myself.
in the world of guitar and music, you can never stop learning, you know. And if you think you can, then you failed. If failure is a thing in music, I guess it is.
Exactly. It's all just a bunch of subjective things. And I'm just gonna open my veins. Okay.
I didn't want that noise.
Excuse me.
So-
yeah.
So Morgan, you're gonna play a song for us, right? You're gonna after showing the lesson of the Seared Earth, he's actually gonna play it full. We're doing it remotely on stream and to see how it goes, and it sounds really good to my ears. So hopefully you guys.
Hopefully it doesn't. Yeah.
I'm
hopefully
pretty-
It works out on the stream.
I'm pretty sure it would be great. Oh, look at that! You even got your.
Oh my god. Should I change camera angles? I could be looking at you like you guys could see the guitar from here. Shred cam? Oh shit, it's coming in. Shred cam. Alright. Oh my god, shred cam! Shred cam! Oh, shred cam! Cool. It's like the headstock cam, you know? Just, it's like POV from my headstock. Okay, my bad. I'm starting this shit. Yeah, prepare yourselves. I have practiced this song one time before playing it here, so get ready for a flawless performance. You know what? I'm gonna actually mute you, Josh, before it because hopefully that will help me concentrate. Okay, here goes. intro again? Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you,
done.
Morgan.
Oh,
That was epic.
thank you, man. That was fun.
Yeah. It's,
That's a
oh goodness. I've lost Morgan, unfortunately.
just I switched over to my
Oh, oh.
other cam.
Now you've disappeared on the screen. You're coming back. You're coming back. There he is. There he is.
Hello.
All right, sweet. So, yep, you can check Morgan out with our good buddy Yo on Shred Bros. They're streaming regularly. I had a great time on the show last week. So
Yeah, man, that was fun. Fun.
there's more guitar orientated stuff, but you can really, learn some amazing stuff if that's your bag. Like we said before, you can also go check out the lesson on YouTube, Bloodshot Dawn /UK.
Yes.
Something like that.
I still have to upload it. But it will be there. I
It
could
will be
upload it
there.
right now, to be honest. You know, I will. Let's see if my internet can handle it. And if it can't, I'll stop.
Maybe the
uploading.
stream will explode. But perhaps not. But yeah, we're gonna delve into some we're doing a Q&A, guys. If anyone has any questions, feel free to fire them at us. I haven't looked on best gauge for 7-string guitars. I mean, that's a personal preference, really. Me and Morgan actually play different. But I mean, if you've got a good enough build, if you've spent a decent amount of money on getting a guitar that, is nice, then it shouldn't matter what gauge the strings are if it's what's up, Joel? Shouldn't matter what gauge the strings are if it's set up properly. I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be an expensive guitar, it just has to be set up properly. and then the strings shouldn't matter.
Yeah.
Or to an extent,
Yeah.
obviously, you know, you don't want to be using like 8 gauge or something to play metal, but
I mean, it depends what tuning and what scale length and stuff like that. I guess really, it's
Yeah, I
more
mean-
about the combination of those things.
well, for example,
and
I
your
use
tuning. probably
we
just
play
said.
in standard tuning, and I used 10 to 56 on 7s, and Morgan, you use like a
Yeah.
hybrid, don't you?
I used 9 to 42, so like quite. But then I still also use 56.
So that's
Or-
like the six strings are basically 1 gauge higher than mine,
Yeah, exactly.
and then you've got the
then
same low string.
The same low string. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean that's you know, your preference to have a bit more vibrato space, I guess.
Yeah, we actually talked about it on the show as well recently, and I think apparently it's a bit easier to control the vibrato and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not as wild on a heavier gauge. That was like Yo's impression because he switched from 9s to 10s.
Okay.
Quite recently, like a year ago or something like that. He was saying.
Does he play
and
the same
said it was
gauge
actually easier.
Does he play the same gauge across all guitars, or does he have a mix?
Same gauge.
Yeah.
Same gauge. But
Just so you know, guys, just a little plug. We both use Elixir strings. They are the best strings that you can buy, in my opinion. I've used them for since I started Bloodshot. I was using Elixirs. Nothing compares with, you know. Everyone says, oh, they're more expensive, but they last 3 times longer than a standard pack. So
Dude, at least
you get what
3
you pay
times,
for,
man.
in my opinion.
It's actually crazy.
And
Yeah.
they're kind enough to endorse us, and you know, me, Morgan, and Giacomo, we all get a nice little package in the new year to tide us over. So thank you, Alexa.
Yeah, you guys are great for real.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I used to have to change my strings with the amount that I was playing and the amount that I'm sweating.
Yeah.
Like I was changing every couple weeks or something, and now don't tell anyone, but it's probably more like every 3 months,
I mean,
like playing
yeah.
every day.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Maybe even less.
It's almost fun to like challenge yourself on tour to see how long you can last, because the strings, they don't lose the tone at all. They stay really.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to don't
Just
get me
keep
wrong.
them clean.
Yeah,
Just
you have to
down a
wipe
little
them
bit and it's
exactly.
fine, yeah.
But the main thing with Elixirs, guys, if you're using products on Elixirs, then that actually kills the protection that they have, the webs. So you don't want to be using like string cleaners or like fast fret sort of stuff on it. That will disadvantage. Just use a dry cloth, get all the dirt off, and then the tone sounds great instantly. You don't need to mess
Actually, on
around.
that topic of the fast fret, I remember like actually with Ant as well. He would always use it before every show, and I would be with him, and we would just be like fast fretting the guitar. And my God, it would get so gunky by the end of the show. Like you're actually like literally just adding gunk.
Yeah, I mean,
brutal.
fast fret you got to be real careful with. You have to make sure you clean all the excess off, otherwise it's probably a negative on the guitar strings normally. I don't know.
It's very inspirational for our artwork, like the gunk, but not great for your playing.
Yeah, on that note, if you like the background artwork and stuff, you can actually get it on a t-shirt. Let's see.
Imagine it here. Imagine yourself.
Oh, it's on the screen now. You can imagine yourself. There's a little close up of the artwork there. If you see, there's like some little rabbits and stuff. You know, this is death metal. So, but yeah, you can go
Goats
check it
and
out on
rabbits.
Big Cartel. I'm still shipping stuff out even during this times. The times will take a bit longer because there's a lot of like quarantine and all that sort of thing going on for it. But just be patient with it, and they will come. That's the wrong screen.
Oh my God, Josh's arm!
I'm sorry. Any money that we make from merch will be going back into the band towards, you know, we have a new album. We're not going to talk about it much today because we have many, many hours and stream time to talk about that stuff. But we're going to delve into the title of the episode, and that is From London to Japan. So Morgan joined the band 4 or 5 years ago now. When was it exactly?
It's like, well, I mean, I guess we started talking about like 4.5 years ago. It was like summer of 5 years ago. Let's put it that way. But I didn't, we didn't have a gig until, I guess, May because there was quite a lot of members changing around in that time.
Yeah, it was definitely a transitional period. When Morgan basically, I'd say I was pretty set on having Morgan join as soon as I spoke to him, because I was already a fan of him before, from the JTC guitar competitions. He was actually in the top 10 with, was it 10 or 5?
10. Yeah,
it was
10.
top 10 with a bunch of guys that, I mean, that competition really helped me get into a bunch of dudes, like, because Ben was in the
Lee
top
as
10 at the
well.
time. Lee was there.
Ben, Lee.
Yeah. Was Marco wasn't in that one, was he?
No, that was actually a couple years before. That's where I first found out about Ben in the first place. That was Pear's competition.
Yeah, oh yeah, Pairs one.
That was sick.
That
we
was
were
a
in the
cool
top 5
competition.
dude, we were in the top 5 with Pliny.
Yeah,
And,
exactly.
like,
yeah.
and that was messed up.
So I discovered Morgan before, and Morgan obviously knew about us. So yeah, I mean, as soon as he expressed interest, I did the same, and he wrote a song for us, and the rest is history, really. So then, like
Look
you
that
said,
song up, dude.
we didn't have a gig for a little while after he joined, because there was a bit of a transitional period going on. But in stepped James, which was he was actually only sessioning for us on these shows, if I remember rightly, and then he kind of joined in afterwards during the Reanimation session. But yeah, so the first gig we managed to get booked on with the lineup was Incineration Fest in London. My good buddy booked us on that. So that was Morgan's first ever gig in a band situation. He's a trained performer in his profession, and he's done guitar competitions and stuff like that. But that was his first ever gig with a band, and you know, with the monitor situation, and obviously it was a festival, so it was a rushed situation. So just take us through, take us through that whole experience from when you were like told, right, it's time to get on stage, let's go. So what was your mindset with it being your first
To
time?
be honest,
Take into account the crowd was, I'd say the crowd was between 300 and 500 people at the time, or something like that.
yeah.
So it wasn't
There
a
were a lot
small
of people
show.
there. It was a sweaty gig as well, man.
Yeah,
Actually,
it was
I forgot.
the second
We were talking about
stage
that the
on a
other day.
festival. Yeah, it was really hot.
So hot.
Yeah, it was in
crazy
May.
hot.
It was in May, and it was definitely a
But that's
hot
summer.
spring. Yeah.
Spring, yeah.
So yeah,
man,
take
I
us
don't know.
through. How are you feeling?
Bit.
Yeah, that's good. That's what we
Hyped
want.
Up. It was pretty funny. I remember who was there, like some guys were there before the show, and like everyone knew you guys, and I'm just sitting there like nobody knows me, and I don't know anybody, and this is like I'm sitting in like some random basement like getting ready, and obviously like I don't know, it's funny because in that time, obviously without the kind of stage experience, I like to be like really prepared, like I would really like to practice a lot.
Yeah.
But I think obviously it just wasn't like conducive to that at all. So I don't think I even really warmed up before the show.
Yeah.
I definitely remember that, and I think Doug was there before the show.
Doug was, yeah.
And he was like mad wasted.
Well, his band, his band. I'm gonna just plug them real quick. Unfathomable Ruination. Just
oh yeah, dude.
incredible brutal death metal band. They're on Willowtip Records. They just released an album at the end of last year. It might have been early this year, but go check it out. It's incredible. Doug does know how to party. That is the truths. But yeah, so Unfathomable Ruination, check them out. Anyway, we carry on. Doug was there because they were playing.
He was super nice. He was all like, "Dude, you're so good looking." That's what I remember. And I was just like,
Oh, what a chap.
"Get me out of here!" I'm just kidding. But he was pretty funny, and yeah, I was a bit nervous and stuff. But I don't know, like I felt really amped up. Mainly, I was just like really happy, and we had done some fun rehearsals. Like the couple days before, where were we? We were in Bristol.
Yeah, we were in Bristol.
Yeah,
At the time, I was
there, and that was
I was living with the guys from Seprivation. That was a party. God.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had some good times actually, just hanging out and
Yeah, that was
just getting to know each other and stuff. Because for me, like, obviously, I know we're talking about the first gig, but like a lot
Yeah,
of it
well,
for me
let's
was
talk
like,
about
okay,
the build
is
up
this
as
a
well.
good-
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just
The whole
It was
experience.
just cool, like meeting you guys. I was pretty obviously just psyched to be meeting you guys for the first time and
Worried that we weren't
just, like, jamming
psychos.
together.
Worried that we went crazy.
No,
and-
not at all. I mean, I was pretty.
Well, we had
you know,
talked.
anything like that. I was just like, it's fine.
We had
fine.
talked quite a lot beforehand. Like all the members had engaged with Morgan before even meeting,
True.
so it wasn't like
True.
it was
I mean,
like,
I-
yo,
Exactly. No, it's funny because like how it started. Like I remember when I was just kind of like being like expressing my interest in the band, and you guys were writing me back and saying, yeah, that'd be sick, blah blah blah. I was like, I was learning some solos, and I think I learned like the Godless solo, and I just like sent it to you guys like a couple days after. And I don't know, just so. Anyways, I had been practicing the material.
I mean,
for, like, a lot of months.
I personally
as well,
knew
right?
that you had the chops for it, man, because I'd already seen, you know, I'd already seen you shred, so it wasn't really a question of
Thanks,
that
dude.
for me. So, but anyway, carry on.
Definitely. No. It's just cool, like, because I was familiarizing myself with the material, and like learning to play all that material. I learned all the solos by ear and stuff. So I don't know. I just
Which
had
is
like a
in-
lot
that's
of build up to this
incredible. That-
moments. Let's say.
Learning Bloodshot Dawn solos by ear is an incredible feat. As it is, I definitely couldn't do that. So,
Dude,
you know,
it's ear training for sure. I haven't done anything like that since, pretty much. But
it's
it's
commendable.
definitely a good. That's actually a good tip for you musicians out there. Honestly, if you're looking to improve, the first thing you should just be doing is trying to learn other people's material and do it by ear. Don't take the fast route of doing the tab thing. You know, you got to find out like that intonation, that you know,
And-
all of those like minute details.
Yeah,
in the playing.
don't and don't look at it and think that's easier said than done, because I mean, if you really spend the time, you know, at first it might be incredibly difficult, but like anything, you have to start from the bottom. So, you know, Morgan's right.
Yeah,
Morgan's
but you
right in
improve
saying,
quickly, I think.
yeah,
Obviously, there's a lot of tools to make it easier. Like you can slow down the tracks and stuff like that in a DAW, and that like really helps out. Even on YouTube nowadays, you can actually slow down the videos to like 25%. So that's not a bad. And you still hear the audio like it's like, you know what I mean. It's
Yeah,
not,
it's like
it's
slowed down,
but it's
but-
still the same pitch.
yeah. So
And
it's pitch
that's
corrected.
really cool
Yeah, I mean that's
for learning as well.
that's a very very nice tool actually. But yeah,
But anyways, all this to say that I was just building up a long time, like months and months of practicing these songs, and you know, us chatting on Skype, and you helping me also like with the riffs and just making sure we were like playing the right parts and all that kind of stuff. Like
Mm-hmm.
it was a nice experience, you know. And just meeting you guys, hanging out, like it was super chill. And we
had a
got to the show.
we had a pretty
I was
good
amped
show.
up, like it was a great show, man.
Yeah.
I still have some funny footage from it and stuff.
We-
I remember somebody was like stage diving or like crowd surfing to the Black Hole Infinity solo, and I was just like, oh my god.
Yeah, it's so cool. I mean, we actually touched on this subject the other day in Shred Bros, but you were mentioning it was the first time feeling adrenaline whilst performing and playing guitar. How was that experience? Also considering, you weren't doing vocals at that point because Ant was still in the
No.
band and he was doing vocals, so obviously
Yeah,
that would have been
too much.
that would have been insane for any person to
Yeah.
to do. But yeah. So
I mean, I hadn't
how
even
did the
done- I had never
adrenaline?
done vocals.
How did the adrenaline feel with the guitar playing for the first time?
Yeah. Let's just say I definitely had the tendency to speed up. Like I was definitely pushing the boundaries of like being in time.
What was?
Accelerando.
I mean,
you know what I mean?
This is this is really specific, but can you remember like what you were thinking in your head when you were playing and everything felt different?
Thinking.
Well,
thinking
like
was
were you
not-
like, whoa, is it what's
Dude,
going on?
I just remember being mad, like super amped up. The crowd was crazy. Somebody did know me in the crowd. Somebody yelled my name. They're like, "Is that Morgan Reed?" And I was just like, "Oh shit!" And I was like freaking out. And I remember, you know what? Okay, like some other memories from the stage. I dropped my pick during Godless.
Oh no!
Exactly in the break.
For
when
the
you
solo.
start to do the riff.
Oh,
no,
for-
before
oh, for-
when you do da and so I went dunk, and I was like, oh shit! And I went to just grab my pick, and I was just like, oh, it never happened.
What better time for that to happen? That's like,
Dude, ever since that first gig, I always keep picks in like my back or front pocket or like in every pocket like around me.
well, there you go,
high
guys.
picks
Like
everywhere.
first gig, and he's kept something back from that, you know. So you got to always learn from stuff like this. So yeah, we
I also remember not, dude.
Karen?
One thing, the headbanging thing. back then, I had no idea what it would feel like to headbang.
Oh,
like,
yeah, exactly.
that hard. Like, don't get me wrong, I've headbanged at festivals. I've headbanged for myself. Like, I like to dance around and move my neck a lot, but my God, I was not prepared. I think I was like 5 days in your house, like before the flight, just like
Just like a rock.
just like fuck. Yeah. Anyways,
As soon as that adrenaline wears off, you're just like like a car crash. But yeah, so the gig went really well. It was a complete success from what I remember. Then afterwards, we went back to my place. Then I think it was. Did we fly from the UK to Japan or so we
flew together, right?
Yeah, we did, and James met us in Istanbul,
in Turkey. That was crazy,
exactly.
Dude.
And we went, so we had like 5 days after, and I can't remember what we did, just like broing down. Maybe we tried to write some music or something, video games.
Definitely listen to it, dude. I remember you showed me Dimmu Borgir, and I had never heard it before at that time, and I was just like.
Yeah, Dimmu get a mention every stream episode because I love them. But I mentioned them last episode, and I was like, I'm going to delve into how much I love those guys and how they influenced me initially to love blasts. But we'll get into that later. We'll get into that in a. It's probably
James was trying to school me as well. James was schooling me on the metal in those days. I remember because I was just like, dude, I'm into like progressive metal and shit. Like,
well, I mean, you like some deathcore and stuff as well, though, didn't you? It wasn't just prog and stuff. But yeah, so anyway, so Morgan's first gig was the festival in London, which was a great show, and then we had a week off, and then we flew off to Japan for his second and third gig. So as a new member of the band, how did it feel to be like told, all right, your first gigs are London and then we're flying to Japan to play 2 shows? Like, were you just like, oh, right, cool?
I was like, no big deal, man.
Taking it in the stride.
I don't know, like, I already had, like, because you mentioned the performing thing. I had already been touring.
Yeah, you've traveled.
Like I had toured China for like a month at that time. So like I you know what I mean? I knew a little bit what life was like on the road. Obviously, the situation in Japan is obviously very different from our tours, say in the UK as well.
Yeah, of course.
It's not saying much, but I don't know. I was definitely hyped. Like,
is Japan a place that you've always wanted to see, or? Because it was your first time in Japan, right? Yeah,
definitely,
it was. Yeah.
And it was just, it was amazing. I mean, to be honest, like if we go, I mean, we did talk a little bit about this again. Sorry, I'm just having like flashbacks to our conversations about this last week.
No worries.
One of the main reasons I think, obviously, I wanted to go to Japan just because I grew up doing like karate, and I was really, really into that growing up. So.
Obviously, that's a huge part of Japanese culture.
Yeah. I mean, I've also like myself. I've learned like a lot from Japanese culture, and it kind of like has shaped a lot of like my moral code and stuff like that. I don't want to like be like Karate Kid or like whatever, but it was definitely a big part of my life.
Well,
man.
there
like,
you go.
I was 4. I was 4 years old when I started doing it.
Yeah,
so it was pretty.
So it's definitely martial arts is definitely a great discipline to do as a child, I'd say. Definitely helps with focus and stuff like that.
It helps if you're a fucking animal and you just want to go ragging on people.
Yeah, that too.
You can't do that.
If you wanna beat people up in a controlled environment, then that's the way to go. But yeah, so Japan,
respect and all that.
So
Japan and dude, Dragon Ball. Like that was a huge thing. That was a huge thing for me as well.
Yeah, of course. So, yeah.
Like, and obviously, I don't know, just the food. That's such a big thing for me. Like I just love Japanese food so much, and I grew up with a lot of that in Toronto. So
going to
finally getting there.
So going to Japan, it was I think it was like a 15-hour journey for us, if I remember rightly. We
quite long.
So we flew off in the evening our time. We had very little contact with James. Ant had already flown to Japan, so he was meeting us there, if I remember rightly.
I think so, yeah.
But with James, James was a session for us then. So I've known James since we were really young, but I hadn't worked with him. The first time was in London when Morgan played with us. So Yeah, so we're in Istanbul airport with like, I don't know, 20 minutes until boarding. No sign of James, and then yeah, his lovely face just appeared. He's like, "All right, lads," and yeah, you know, my heart was beating out of my chest with, you know, with a thing like a Japanese tour. There's a lot of expense and stuff that goes into it. But I mean, James is a seasoned professional, so we shouldn't have thought any less of him. You know, the guy tours almost 200 days a year. So, you know,
Yeah, man.
he probably spends more time in airports than he does at home. It's like, poor guy. But
Dude,
yeah,
he does. He, like when we were recording the drums this year, he was like flying back home, like 30-minute flight.
Yeah, like
or
it's
whatever, and
nothing.
He would just go. He would like have dinner in like the lounges, be like, "I fly so often. They wipe my butt with silver."
that is a spot-on impression of James.
It's not. Please do not show that video to him. He's gonna fucking kill me, dude.
Oh, he's watching. He's just texting me. Don't say that. No, not really. But yeah,
doesn't have my address
so
yet,
so
so
anyway,
it's
yeah. James appeared in a magical puff of smoke, and then yeah, we continued our flight, and I can't really remember. I think we got there in the evening in Japanese time.
Oh, dude, I remember 100%.
Go on, take it away, because
We got to the airport. And then we had to take the train. Ant was with us, so he might have met us at the airport. I think he might have just been there a couple hours before, and he waited for us in the airport or something.
yeah, because we were being as cheap as possible, weren't we, to get the best flight
Oh,
deals
yeah.
that we can. Like that's an
Yeah, yeah.
important thing with being in a band. You have to be as cheap as possible. But carry on.
I still remember how much my flight cost. That's what being in a band really is, guys. Knowing how much your flight costs.
Just making it rain on all the flight companies.
Just like whatever I don't spend, that's the only money I'm gonna make.
Pretty much.
But
We
yeah,
do
so
it for
we
the
got to
love,
airport.
though. Obviously, like, don't, you know.
Oh no, I'm joking. Yeah. I mean, it's more like
He's not joking.
No, dude, it's more like this, and then the bill just like falls down slowly. That's like the singular bill. And then you're like, okay.
But yeah, so
I'm going down a rabbit hole.
So we got to.
Dude, we took the train.
Yeah.
From the airport.
Just so you
to
know,
meet.
if you go to Narita Airport, which is, I think it's the main airport in Tokyo, there is two. There's Haneda as well. There's two main ones.
Yeah.
But either way,
Narita's the bigger one.
Tokyo is ridiculous. It's literally a metropolis, so you have to take a train to get into the city. But yeah, carry on, Morgan. Let's talk about the journey.
So we took like a fast train for about an hour, and I remember, I think I left my iPad in the train, and we took the escalator up, and I realized at the top of the escalator, and I booked it down into the train and got my iPad before it left. And that's like a bullet train, dude. So that train is like,
cool. Yeah.
goodbye iPad, like. But we were so tired and shit, and I just remember. So we took the train. I think we were probably sitting in like the totally wrong spot of the train as well, and people just like came to sit down beside us, and they were just like eyeing us like, "What the fuck are you doing here?" Like,
Yeah. You're not local. Like,
like this is first class. Back
so
to James' impression.
we went and met the van, didn't we? Right away, pretty much.
Exactly. And we went to the van.
I can't
Straight
remember.
from
I
the
can't remember
plane.
what station. I can't remember what station it was, but
It was a suburb. It was like I think it was north of the city. Or
it was cool.
Anyways,
though.
it was something outside because we didn't want to go through the city, obviously, because driving through Tokyo is like
Yeah,
a
it's
disaster.
crazy,
But it was
yeah.
quite late. It was quite late, like I think their time as well. It was something like 12.
Yeah, so just
And
so
then
you
we
know,
drove
guys,
through the night.
we flew into Tokyo, but our first gig was in Osaka, and Osaka's actually about I don't know exactly. I'd say about
8 hours,
8 to 9 hours.
8 to 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Japan is actually a huge country. You know. You wouldn't think it. I don't know why. I think it's because of the way it's shaped, but there is a lot of land mass there. So essentially, yeah, like Morgan was saying, we flew about 15 hours, got onto a bullet train into Tokyo for about an hour, and then I think we had about an hour or two to kill where we we went to like a
We had food. We had noodles.
yeah,
or
I swear we went to some local cafe, and then someone just like sparked up a cigarette right in our faces whilst we were eating or something.
I definitely remember some kind of smoke.
And we were just like, I mean, I'm a smoker myself, but I was even like, whoa, this is too much. We just ordered food, and this dude, probably the restaurant owner, was just sitting there chuffing the massive cigarette in our faces. I mean, it wasn't what we needed after that long flight, but
Nah.
it was okay.
I don't remember that so much. I remember more like getting into the van and seeing the seat. And I
Oh
was just like,
well, this is the whole next chapter. I mean, like, so basically the van turns up and we've got this 8-hour drive ahead of us, and we haven't slept for a long time. Maybe we slept a bit on the plane, but traveling like that is exhausting. So I decided, I just took it upon myself to create a bed using the merchandise that I had bought in my suitcase. So
it was all covered in plastic and shit.
yeah, it was all like plastic
Oh my
wraps
God, dude.
in squares. So I took it all out and basically laid it all out and fashioned a bed and just pretty much laid down. I was pretty much laid on the wheels, it felt like. But
crazy.
at the same time, I was so tired, and I looked at the seat, which is, don't get me wrong, we weren't being treated in a bad way by our...
No.
This is just the normal. Like, the vehicle was just the normal. So just a disclaimer there, we're not complaining about the treatment. The vehicle was... is a
Dude, the
normal
bunk-
size van.
I mean, it's a totally good van for touring, but the bunk essentially ended like here.
Yeah.
So what I was doing earlier, but was shooting myself. That's how you had to lie, because you couldn't put your body anywhere. You were just like,
Yeah.
I'm trying to rest
Yeah, it's,
for 8 hours.
by bunk he means the backrest. So the backrest
the
was
bank, sorry, not the bunk.
yeah, the backrest finished maybe just under your sort of your chicken wings. So if you started to fall asleep, I swear at one point, I don't know, someone was asleep and they were literally just like the Adam's apple looked like it was about to burst out of their neck. But yeah, so
Dude, anyway, so we arrived in the morning. I remember we arrived in the morning.
we drove and we
um,
arrived. I swear we arrived at stupid o'clock as well, like 5 in the morning before anything was open.
Definitely, yeah, it was super early. I think it was still sunny out though, but it was just a really sunny.
One hilarious thing that happened on the way. I'll never forget this. We can't miss this out. So we stopped at a service station and it was beautiful. Like, it was like sunrise, and
the food there was amazing.
yeah, the food was amazing, and this was at like 5 in the morning or something. So we're I'm laughing just thinking of this. So me and Morgan are like, we're trying to stretch our legs and stuff, and we see that there's like these musical instruments that they have in the service station. It's like bizarre, but there's like
It's like xylophones,
yeah,
like kids xylophones.
yeah, like kids xylophones,
Like really big.
and like big air tubes that you can hit and stuff. And they were actually tuneful. And being musicians and being a bit giddy because we hadn't been asleep for 24 hours plus, we decided to start jamming out. So we're like hitting these things like and then all of a sudden this is like out in the sort of, this is far from the car park, this is in like a sort of park,
like a play
little
area,
park area,
like,
which
yeah.
was away from the cars and stuff. So and it was so early in the morning. We just thought, jam out, not going to bother anyone. Who cares? All of a sudden, we hear some stirring, and we look over, and there's this massive dude. Oh, I don't know how massive he was.
He wasn't that big. He was just mad.
For the story's sake, let's say he was really big.
Okay.
And he looked like he was, I think he was a dirt biker or something. When he drove off, he had his dirt bike on the back of his van. But basically, this fella had decided that he wanted to sleep on the bench. And we obviously woken up.
Obviously didn't know.
We woke this guy up by playing the most obnoxious noises you could imagine, and this guy looked at us like he was going to kill us, and me and Morgan trying not to laugh, and we were like, right, let's get out of here.
Sorry, man. Like, fuck,
Yeah,
dude,
sorry. And
calm
obviously he didn't speak any English, and he was like, oh, he was hating us even more because we weren't speaking Japanese. And so yeah, we walked away. And we everyone came back to the van and we were like giggling about it and stuff, and we thought that was the end of it. So we get back in the van to drive off, and no word of a lie, it was like a movie. As we were driving off, we see the guy looking at us, and he just gives us the finger just like this, like almost like shaking his hand, like, you bastards. Oh, I mean, I'll never forget it though, because I mean, we were
definitely making some kind of like rap beats with that thing as well. It was like,
yeah, we just made it. We just made it so the guy just wanted to, like, I don't know. He really didn't like us. Put it that way. We tried to give him a seat. No, we didn't really. We didn't. But yeah. So anyway,
Doug's in here. What's up, Doug?
Yo.
Sexy beast. Am I right?
Doug, I'm wearing your shirt,
I
baby.
can't wink apparently.
But yeah. So we messed up that guy's sleep and got the finger. You know, that was good start in Japan. But then we got to Osaka about 5 a.m. So we were like just waiting for the venue to open up.
But our gig was that same night. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So we didn't even have a hotel, I think, because we did.
We had those little tiny rooms with the tiny ceilings.
Oh yeah, I remember.
And then there was like, I mean, it was it's pretty normal for Japan, and anyways, to kind of have that straw floor. But obviously, I didn't know anything about that at the time.
Yeah.
So I just went in there and I just like slept on it. Like I didn't even have a cover. I was just like, whatever. Grab like space.
I remember the beds are always way too small for me as well. But normally, at that point, we were so shattered that it was just like head on the pillow and you're out for hours, you know. But so yeah, we had a nice sleep, and then Japan's amazing for venue conditions. Just so you guys know, like we woke up and we went to the venue, and it was all just everything was like.
I remember it was air conditioned. Like it was really cold in there.
Yeah, I mean it's another world to like UK venue conditions, wouldn't you say, Morgan? Like as your first experience of 2 gigs going from London. Don't get me wrong, the London venue was a great venue
London
as well.
was great. London was great. Obviously, it was a festival and stuff.
But going from London to Japan, it's just crazy, isn't it? It's just crazy how efficient they are in the venues.
I think it's also just the amount of money that they actually invest into.
Exactly,
because they have all the tech. They'll have a lighting tech. They'll have like multiple.
Yeah, they have a full staff for just a 150
Even
capacity venue. Yeah,
exactly. And I think as a result of that, though, the renting the venues themselves is quite a lot more expensive, or booking a gig, let's say.
Yeah, absolutely. But
the people who do rent the venues.
The economy in Japan seems more that way inclined, though. You know, they seem to be happy to spend more to have a better production value, which.
Yeah,
I mean, in reality, everyone should go with that, because, you know, especially after flying all that time to fly in, and you know, you hear yourself in the monitor and everything sounding great, and you know, it's just great. And Japanese crowds as well. How was that for you? That must have been, because I'd obviously played in Japan before, a couple of times. But for you, it was the first time meeting the Japanese crowd, and they were.
Well, to be honest, I had already on that day. I woke up, so we woke up, and I think we loaded in around like 1 or 2 in the afternoon, so we didn't have much sleep at all.
Mm-hmm.
I met 2 like internet buddies, kind of mine. Hideaki, who's like a sick fusion guitarist.
Yeah.
And Toshiki, he was there. That was the first time I met him.
Yeah.
We hung out.
Toshiki's a
And he's
legend.
like-
Hi,
I mean, he's a bro,
Toshiki.
yeah.
He's probably not watching, but Toshiki's like one of the nicest guys I've ever
He's
met.
definitely not watching right now because it's like
Yeah, he's probably
5 in the morning or
fast
something.
asleep. We'll tag.
But
If anyone knows Toshiki, tag him in this, because he's being talked about right now. So
yeah, dude. No, so I met him for the first time, and it was super. It was just super nice to hang out with them, and I had some like noodles with them. So I already felt a bit like, you know, like home. Like, okay, I already actually know people here. Even though it's on the other side of the planet.
And obviously,
that was super sick.
Japanese people are. Their culture is, they're very welcoming to people coming in, you know, like I've always felt really welcome in Japan every time I've visited.
And all the other bands and everything, they were so nice. And all I wanted to do was sleep in the floor of the backstage. But
yeah, that's pretty much how it went, wasn't it? So we got to the venue in Osaka, and everyone went to sleep, and I basically, for some reason, I couldn't stay asleep, so I just set up the set up the merch, and then I was just sitting there with the guys asleep, and that was it for about 2 hours, I think. Whilst everyone,
Yeah.
I mean,
And we
we're still in
definitely
recovery stage. You know, we still haven't slept properly since leaving Bristol, so we're floating at this point.
Yeah, it was crazy, man.
But yeah, so then after that, everyone got a little bit of rest. I think we got some food, and then played a great show.
I don't remember that, but I do remember the show being really fun.
Yeah, it was a really, really good show. And then I'm pretty sure that we drove. Did we drive straight back to Tokyo?
I hope not, but I have a feeling we did.
I think we did. I think what happened.
My God, we definitely did.
Yeah, I think what happened after that is
Rory was there, right? And we had, I don't know,
No, we did drive, but we stayed out and like drunk and ate stuff. So we stayed around till like 4 and 5 in the morning or something, and then drove
we
off.
had like barbecue or something.
Yeah, and I remember
Really good.
I have a really, really distinct memory of some two guys like pulled up in their cars, and they had really big boom boxes.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I was really impressed, and they were like, "Come over here," and then they showed me some crazy bass, and I felt like I was in Need for Speed or something. It was really, really cool because of all the neons and stuff like that. If I remember, that road was pretty crazy. Like there was like on the restaurants, there's like giant crabs with their arms moving out and stuff like that. And it was,
Shit, dude, I remember that venue from last year.
yeah,
Because I actually spent quite some time in Osaka as well. Like I spent a little bit more time sightseeing there this time around. And there's a lot of like walking streets where it's just like markets or like stores on both sides, but kind of like a market feel, like not too like crazy built up stores, just kind of like really casual. And like loads of restaurants and stuff. I mean, it's such a nice city. It's actually awesome. And they got this
it's also
amazing
massive as
castle.
well. It's like it's a huge city as well, isn't it? Is it the second biggest city
It's
in
the second biggest.
Yeah. So anyway, that show was great and stuff, and then we took the journey back to Tokyo.
That was brutal. I think
At
we
that
had a day
point-
off before our gig. That was the thing.
Yes, we
Between-
did.
But we took the trip through the night because I think it's just like less traffic, so it's a bit like faster and stuff.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, and then so the next day, we actually got contacted by a friend of ours now called Jason. Is it McNamara? McNamara, and he
Really
basically
hard to.
basically wanted to do a video for us, which
Dude, I actually
or
got
maybe
in contact with him because
Oh.
of my. But remember, I remember being proud of this because I was like, I'm new to the band, but I'm already like hooking up the sick ass video, dude.
yeah.
And it was actually the dudes in the guys in Heavy Metal Ninjas. They knew him because he's Aussie, but I mean they're from New Zealand or whatever. Anyways, but they kind of knew each other, and so he was working at the Ishibashi music store.
Yeah,
at the time.
the epic music store. If you ever go to Tokyo and you're a musician, you need to go to that district because
There's like every guitar there.
there's so much nice stuff. But carry on.
But yeah, so we had that, like, we met him for the first time at the gig though. I remember that because I did meet him a couple times afterwards. But he was like, yeah, he just had like, I don't know, like 10 GoPros or something. Or
Yeah.
15 GoPros.
He was
And just gave them to,
super
like, dudes in the
enthusiastic as
crowds.
well. Like he really wanted. Yeah, like you say, he was in the crowd. He was grabbing the mic, telling the crowd to go crazy and stuff. If you want to watch that, that's. I know I keep plugging it, but you can go on our YouTube and you can actually watch that multicam professionally shot video of Black Hole Infinity, which was from the tour we're talking about. So go check that out if you get a chance. Also, guys, if you're watching on Facebook, please come and subscribe to Twitch. I'm trying to become a Twitch affiliate. I need 50 followers, and I need people watching me. So please follow, and hopefully I'll get there soon, and then that will allow me to do more with my stream and give you a better experience all round. Do we have any questions there, Morgan? We can just take a little break from the London to Japan.
No, we don't have any questions on Facebook.
If anyone's
Not that I can see.
if anyone's got any questions they want to ask, fire now, otherwise we'll carry on with the story. I can see it on the Twitch feed if you...
I'm looking on Facebook, yeah, but there's nothing, I think.
No, that's
As far as I
okay.
can tell. There's Dan Herrera saying, I'm here for the nudes. They better be nudes. Cool story, bros. Where are the nudes? Nudes. And then
Well,
Angry
he's
face,
also
angry
he's
face,
also
angry
in Unfathomable Ruination, so... I mean, I probably should take this off, really, shouldn't I? No.
if you want, I mean, I got my camera right here, man. It's like...
Rhythm guitar
getting
versus lead guitar. Both playing and writing wise. Which do you prefer? Well, I'm just gonna answer that for him and say which do we prefer. Well, I prefer rhythm guitar, just because I can sit there and riff, you know, just noodle and write stuff like that. I feel a bit more free. I'm a bit more worried when, this is me personally, I'm a bit more worried when I'm doing leads that I need to be sounding exactly how I want to sound, if you know what I mean. Whereas with riffs and a lot of distortion and low tuning, I can just do whatever, and if it sounds substandard, then it's not really a bother. But if I do a substandard thing on the lead, it could probably throw off my workflow a bit. But so I feel a bit more free when I'm riffing, and that's what I enjoy doing, really. So I do enjoy playing leads as well, don't get me wrong, but I'd say I definitely go for riffs more. I'm gonna jump out there and say that Morgan probably is the opposite end of the spectrum. Do you prefer to play
I don't
leads
know,
or
man.
riffs?
Not really. If I'm 100% honest, it's more like situational.
Uh-huh.
Like if I'm writing music, I'm not really thinking about the leads that much unless I know I want a kind of specific lead in a section, and then
Yeah.
I'll focus more on that, because it's like, I think it's all about like what what is the purpose, or what does the section like need, or like
Yeah.
what is the purpose that you want to serve with
Yeah,
that
you're
lead or
it's
rhythm
about
guitar.
serving the
'Cause I think
song.
it's
Yeah,
just a concept that it's a kind of concept that we've created.
absolutely.
But really, realistically, rhythm. Yeah, it's a big question, obviously. But I do really think, like, when I'm writing, for example, I'm actually just focusing on riffs and the song structures and the chord changes and stuff like that more than leads.
So there you go.
The leads I just jot down. I jot down
Yeah.
ideas. Like maybe I'll write a riff that I'm like, okay, it would sound cool if there was like a Lydian into like whatever fucking harmonic minor section here or something. But the leads are not
with
the most
riffs as
important
well,
thing.
is that you can always build on them and subtract from them, as you need. It kind of goes hand in hand with leads, but I guess the riffs are the foundation of the composition. So in regards to metal, at least.
Yeah.
So
No.
yeah. So we
I think-
concur then. Both prefer riffs over leads, I guess.
Yeah, it's just hard because it's situational. So I'm trying to say that, like, for me, I know I'm not really taking one or the other. I just think that, for example, I still do have so much joy when I can like write a solo. Like I love
course,
to write
yeah.
solos, but that is like there's a lot of circumstances for that. That's like I either have something that's being given to me where I am supposed to like where I
Follow
have
a
the
certain
freedom to
blueprint.
express myself in that way. Yeah, but like, you know what I mean, like where I have the freedom to express a kind of solo mentality, which for me is the ability to make all the decisions like kind of rhythmically and harmonically and also technically.
Mm-hmm.
And have that be the focus. And if I have the opportunity to do that, I really enjoy that. So on that side of things, like if I'm comparing like writing music, which is more writing riffs for me, especially as a bass, or writing solos, which is more specifically like that kind of virtuosic guitar mentality, then I obviously enjoy both for different reasons.
Yeah.
So
well,
I don't know.
there you go. I'm a riff man, and Morgan enjoys all music for the the specific situation. But
But dude, here's an example of times where I don't like lead guitar. If somebody sends me a track and they're like, "Yo, play a solo over this," but the riff sucks, then I'm just like,
yeah, I mean, you're not going to
I
get
can't do
inspired
anything
over
with
that.
this. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
it's-
it's so reliant on what's happening rhythmically, or at least like.
Yeah, they go hand in hand for sure. But anyway, let's carry on with the story. Time's going on.
Okay,
so
dude, short version on Jason.
Oh,
I
yeah.
met Jason at Ishibashi after our gig, and Andy McKee was there. Do you guys know Andy McKee, the insane percussive, like one of the best acoustic guitar players in the world?
Well, some people will probably know who he is. I've heard of him.
He's like insanely famous. Like he has like 60 million views on his videos and stuff. Anyways, I met him there and I was just like, dude, what the fuck? And he was like in this guitar store and I just like chatted with him a bunch. And Jason brought him over and we watched a bunch of the clips from the video together with him. It was so funny. It was like surreal.
Yeah, that was after the tour. To confirm, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
So we actually, with a tear in my eye, thank you for subscribing. Please subscribe, guys, on Twitch. Follow me because, like I say, it will help my channel. So we had a day off before the gig, and we actually went to a friend's party, and something crazy happened to me. Because if I remember, it was my birthday, wasn't it?
Your birthday party,
and
it was after the gig.
Well, no, this was the day before we went to a birthday party, didn't we? We went to, we went to...
Oh, yeah.
So this is a crazy story that you guys will love. Right, so it was either the day before or the day of my birthday. And we went
the day before, for sure.
We went to a party of a friend's, and so we walk in. This is a small sort of dive bar, probably about 30 capacity, metal bar. We walk in and I look across the room, and who's sitting there? None other than Michael Amott, literally one of my all-time heroes from being a kid. Michael Amott is just sitting in this small bar, and for me that was one of the most surreal moments I've ever had on tour, because I'm a massive Arch Enemy fanboy. I got really into them when I was like 15, and to just see him just sitting there like casually just blew my absolute mind. And he was a nice guy as well. We sat with him, had a little chat, had a little drink with him, took some photos and stuff. And I mean, just of all places as well, in Tokyo, just to meet one of my heroes the day before my birthday, the day before playing a gig. It was just like unbelievable. But yeah, so you never know when you're going to meet your heroes, I guess. That was just completely bizarre. But yeah,
I literally met Andy McKee like 2 days later, and I actually love his music. I've listened to all his albums and stuff. So
Tokyo is just a cool place to hang out, apparently, for musical heroes. But yeah, so anyway, that happened, and we got some food in a nice bar, and then pretty much after that we just went back and finally actually got a good sleep, if I remember rightly. That was our first proper sleep. And then the next day we had our Tokyo gig. And we were talking about Jason. Obviously, he filmed us and stuff. The venue was really great as well that we played in. I can't remember.
Cyclone?
No, it wasn't Cyclone. Cyclone was the one we played in last. It was in Shibuya, though. But Cyclone's the one.
True. Something Star or something.
Yeah, Imaki Star 3 or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was a lovely venue. It was about, I mean, the lighting rig and everything was awesome. Big thanks to our buddies Serenity and Murder who actually booked that one. They've just announced their new singer and stuff. So if you like melodic death metal, they're a great act from Japan to check out. That's Serenity in Murder. Yeah. So we played the gig in Shibuya, and it was an awesome time. I mean, that gig was mad. We had a crazy amount of people at the show, and afterwards I was on the merch, and I was probably selling shirts for about an hour or something. It's, the reception was unbelievable, and that was actually my birthday. I remember now. Yeah. So that was a cool experience for sure.
And that was actually the day we met Yo as well, so that was cool.
Exactly, yeah. Yo's band played with us, if I remember rightly, and I'm pretty sure I'd seen him play before, maybe on a video.
I was already friends with him on Facebook and stuff because I noticed his playing and shit.
So we played the gig, and then if I remember rightly, we didn't have to fly till the next day, and you guys were sticking.
You left the next day. I stayed for a while.
Yeah,
I was like chilling.
People were sticking around and doing their thing, and I was going home the next day. But because it was my birthday, we decided to go to an all you can drink place, if I remember rightly. And that was just a mad one, because in Japan drink isn't like crazy expensive. You can pay like, I don't know, $30, and you get all you can
There's
drink.
food and drink.
Yeah, all you can drink and all you can eat, and they just bring out platters. And at first I was getting like cocktails, and then I was just drinking pitchers in the end, and it was crazy. There was
we were
like
doing those chug. Those
there was
chugs
like
with the
chug
beer,
challenges,
the mini beers.
where there was one guy, the singer of Yo's band. Yeah, this guy was mad. He was downing half
was so
pints
sick, dude.
or like whatever they
awesome.
were. He was downing them in a split second. I couldn't believe my eyes. Yeah, he was just screaming in the middle of the bar. They must have hated us, but it was a good time. It was definitely a good time. So yeah, I mean that was basically the end of the tour. Then after that, Morgan and Ant went off and had a bit of a holiday, and I came home. So all in all, a great experience. Yeah, if you guys enjoyed this tour story, I don't know how you're feeling about the show, Morgan, but I'm having quite a lot of fun reminiscing on this stuff. So this is something
we'll
we
have
could
to
do on
again,
a
man. We have loads more stories.
yeah, I mean, we can. The Wednesday show is kind of for this sort of stuff, especially Bloodshot. So hopefully Morgan will come back and we can do more stuff like that.
Sure, dude.
Because we've had lots of great experiences like Hellfest, Canada. Canada will have to be a two-parter because that was an epic beyond epics. So,
It was also
basically.
much longer than 3 days. You just made 3 days sound like an eternity.
Yeah, I mean, but it felt like it, it was epic. Right, so
Yeah, man.
so pretty much just on to the last segment now. Just going to do a little talk about the 33 pedal. So I'm just going to get my guitar out and trying to arrange my cameras. I might go back to maybe Morgan, you can plug Shred Bros' next episode whilst I do some stuff.
Yeah, we're gonna be streaming tomorrow, live, much earlier because Yo is in Japan and we are streaming together. So we are the Shred Bros. We bring the shred. What else can I say? Shred.
Well, that's a hell of a lot of shred. All
It's
right,
a
well,
good pitch, right? Like
you
you like
guys-
the part where I said shred.
well, someone just said they're having fun living vicariously through these stories, so please give us more.
Oh yeah,
So
they're coming, man. They're coming.
if you guys ask nicely, maybe Morgan will come back next week and we can do this again.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Gotta play some more songs too.
yeah, absolutely. Now I'm in sync. I'm more than happy to. All right, I'm gonna try and see if this is working, and we can. Okay, that's not a great view so far.
No worries.
All right, I'm just gonna give up on the. I'm gonna give up on looking at the 33. I'm just gonna. You guys can. It's only one dial anyway, so.
Dude, I got mine over here, man. I can hook you up.
All right. Well, in that case, I go back to the guest scene.
Wait, not yet. Might see my butt.
There you go, guys. A free show. You can also find Morgan on OnlyFans with pictures of his butt.
I gotta take my whole pedal board, unfortunately. This Velcro.
All right.
Velcro's
So
insane.
essentially, the 33 is this pedal in the middle that Morgan's showing. It comes in
Let
a.
me get some light on it.
It's made by Fortin Amplification, designed by Mike Fortin and Frederick Forendale, the mastermind behind Meshuggah. That's why it's called the 33 pedal, because that's kind of his thing. It comes with top-mounted jacks. It's a matte black finish with matte black 33 design. It has an awesome channel changer on the side, so if you want to basically switch between your clean channel, you can. You can plug it into the back of your amplifier. And yeah, it's like a very robust pedal, 9 volt. So pretty much what it is, there's a bit of a misconception with the 33, because a lot of people think that it's an overdrive pedal. And I'm going to be a bit of a technical nerd with it and tell you that it isn't an overdrive pedal. It can actually be used in conjunction with an overdrive pedal. What it actually is a pre-EQ filter. Now what that means is basically if you're EQing your pickups before it reaches your amplifier. So it essentially gets rid of some of the dirty tones and stuff like that. So I'm going to quickly just play you my rig without it. So that's quite a lot of low end in there. It's quite a bit flubby. I mean, it still sounds pretty decent, don't get me wrong. But if I engage the 33, you can instantly hear that everything's tightened up. And then without, and that's literally using the same rig, just engaging the pedal. So basically, the pedal is just one singular knob, and you can, at 0, it cuts out all the signal completely. And it's basically, you raise it up, and it's an EQ curve that they've tuned. You know, it's the tuning that Frederick likes, to get that sort of Meshuggah. Now, with this, it doesn't work with every amplifier. If you've got an amplifier that already sounds tight and already has quite a nice mid-range high end, then it's not something that you're really going to need. We're talking like EVH or a PV5105, for example. But if you're playing like a Mesa style tone, which I am, or any sort of darker amplifier, it can really help you push the signal through. It also works really well with like solid state stuff. So I can hear you typing really loudly, Morgan.
Sorry.
That's all right, buddy. So yeah, you can use it with solid state amplifiers as well. So like if you have a Marshall AVT 100 watt amp, you know, one of the sort of beginner cabs, it can really help that have some chug. So I'm just going to do a quick on-off test so you can see how it is again. So this is off. And engaged. Off. Engaged. So yeah, that's it, guys. I mean, it's a simple. I would not get a 33 with a 6505 mini head. I would opt for the 14 Blade, which is exactly the same. It's a pre-filter EQ, but it has a mid and treble knob instead of it being a singular dial. And that way, you know, you have more control. You know, you won't pull out too much low end or whatever, or you can subtract or add. So on an amp like that, I'd definitely go for a 14 Blade. I actually use a 14 Blade in my rig as well, and I will divulge into how I use it. I'll probably, if people are interested in pedals and stuff like that, then I will do like quick shootouts, so you can see the difference between certain overdrives and stuff, because I've got a lot to talk about. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it when it comes to the 33. If you're interested, just look up 14 Amplification. They post worldwide, and you can buy them directly from the website. They also have amplifiers, the best noise gate in the world, in my opinion, the 14 Zool. So you check out their products. If you're a fan of Ola as well, Ola raves about them. I'm pretty sure he uses a Zool all the time when he's using a tube amp. So yeah, so hopefully we'll get into that more, and next time I'll be a bit more prepared, so you can actually see the pedal when I'll move around the dials and stuff and give it a bit more. But yeah, so that's that really.
I was just posting the lesson, so the lesson is officially published.
All right, guys. So
still up.
We're coming to the end of the show now. So if anyone's got any questions, feel free to shoot them at our way. Morgan will have a look on Facebook for me. If you wanna fire anything up in the Twitch right now, then yeah, if you missed any of the show, earlier parts of the show as well, guys, it will be posted up to YouTube as soon as the stream ends. So you can go check it out there and see all the fun we've had. Any suggestions and anything like that for what you want on the stream? Any way we can
I think
improve?
you should put a filter on me so I don't look like a ghost.
Okay.
My bad. That was a bad joke. But
I mean, I will try and make you look prettier, but you're beautiful to me. So.
that's all I wanted to hear.
So, are there any more questions, or am I calling out to an empty sea?
No questions. But that's fine. We don't need questions.
We don't need
I
questions.
can question. Dude, look, watch this. I'll question myself. What is the square root of -1? Sorry, I was just watching Westworld and it just blew up like.
Oh.
Like, no spoilers. No spoilers.
No spoilers. I haven't seen the new series yet, but if you've not checked out Westworld and you've got a lot of time on your hands right now, then check it out from the start. It took Morgan. It didn't take Morgan a while to convince me. Morgan was like, "You've got to watch this," and I was like, "I
That's
know."
true, I remember.
And then it took me a while to convince my lovely partner Toria, but she.
Dude, it was the same with Rick and Morty.
Yeah, exactly. But when
Toria didn't like it
as
at
soon
first.
as soon as we watched it, she was like, "Yeah, this is good. This is good." So I mean, as soon as I get the time to watch that, I think pretty much all the episodes are out now, aren't they? I was waiting because it was
Yeah,
weekly,
This week was the last one or something.
and that's the sort of show that I want to watch in a chunk because it's so much to digest.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to rewatch some of the episodes on this season.
All right. If anyone does have any questions, though, seriously, we're here.
If not, I'll talk about the next show actually. I've got another guest on Friday. This is an exclusive. I've got my good friend Nick from Vervum coming on, and we're gonna be having a chat about what it took for us to get the Goats tour going, and the trials and struggles of booking a tour. So yeah, if you're a fan of Vervum, it's definitely
Who isn't?
it's an episode you definitely don't want to miss.
If you're not a fan of Vervum, go away.
So yeah, that's true. Get off my stream if you don't like Vervum. No, I'm only joking. I am gonna throw you into the world of Vervum on Friday. We're going to be showing you some songs. We're going to talk to Nick about his personal experience. He also played live guitar for Fallujah before, around the inception of Vervum. So we're going to talk about that and his experience. So yeah, so big thanks to Morgan for coming on.
Thanks for having me, bro.
Come next week. You're invited. It's been fun. If we get enough good feedback, then maybe he will. But yeah, we've been on for almost 2 hours now, guys, so we're gonna call it quits there. If you want to help me out, you can go to Twitch, create an account, and follow me there, and yeah, you'll help me become affiliated. I'm doing pretty well as it is, but all the help will really help. There's also links on the bottom there, so you can check out all of Bloodshot Dawn and some of my Twitter and stuff like that. People don't really care about Twitter, but some people do, but who knows. Morgan's also doing Shred Bros. When's your next episode?
Tomorrow at 3 p.m. GMT. So that's 3 p.m. your time,
3 p.m.
4 p.m. my time.
Okay, so 3 p.m. GMT tomorrow for Shred Bros, and that will be on...
Shred it up with us.
Is that on Twitch as well?
Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook.
Okay, so you can probably check them out on Twitch/Shred Bros, I imagine.
Exactly.
Yep.
Shred Bros. Just look us up. I think,
It'd be Morgan's
It'll be
personal
easy to find.
Morgan's personal profile as well, and it will be Morgan's YouTube as well, which is Morgan Reed. You can easily find that. So yeah,
Yeah, I just linked
the
it
lesson's
in the
up from
lesson.
earlier, and we'll, regardless of if Morgan can make the live stream or not, we'll be having lessons for the Bloodshot songs weekly, and hit him up if you need lessons. Like I said, he's got time on his hands, and he can help you
Thanks
with
for
all
the
your
plug,
shredding needs. No, you're welcome, man. It's well deserved. So yeah, we're gonna call it there, I think. been a good show. Everything's been in sync. No real slips or any problems. So hopefully we'll see you all Friday. And stay safe, guys. And see you again.
Peace.